what did people always want in the alternative space? They always wanted good, clear, undeniable evidence that could be shared with millions of people to help them realize the true nature of the government, corruption, what's going on with corporate influence, what's going on with technocratic agendas, what's going on with the good evidence. As far as the Twitter files, that's exactly what we have. It's good evidence that nobody can deny. Waking up millions of people. Why are we trying to downplay this by saying this is a nothing burger? This is just, people getting caught up in Elon Musk saviorism. Maybe to you, but to these people over here that are just kind of starting to find their feet on seeing a different side of the world, seeing a different narrative, this is actually very, very, very helpful information. And one day, now that they've maybe, started to open up to this stuff, they can continue their critical thinking and maybe go a little deeper and see some of the other parts of corruption that exist that you as a journalist who've been doing this for 15 years has been presenting. But without them learning about what's going on with the Twitter files, they may not get to the work that you present, right? But there's this tendency to be like, well, the Twitter files it's not awake enough, it's not presenting the whole picture. Therefore, it's, there's no point. It's Elon Musk's a bad man. Don't pay attention to the Twitter files, right? And I'm seeing this what is really going on in this desire to just shoot down everything related to the Twitter files? What is this desire? Are we afraid? Are people afraid that, you have some semblance that, hey, maybe some truth is coming out and this is good, but we're about to be let down. So to protect ourselves from feeling let down, we got to shit on everything Elon's doing right now. We got to shit on everything that's Twitter files related. I don't know. Is that what's going on? Is there jealousy that these people weren't the ones to break the Twitter file story? I have no idea. I'm not going to suggest that it's one thing or another. What I'm suggesting is that the script is being lost, that there's a ton of potential for people to see what's going on here. And instead of just kind of acknowledging that, there's just all this noise being added, right? I write something about the Twitter files and I see all these comments of people being like, controlled opposition, don't pay any attention, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it's like, you try and talk to these people and it's like talking to a wall. It's like you're talking to somebody who can't even compute evidence versus, hypothesis, right? And what is that? That's a result of narrative capture. That's a result of, I don't care what the evidence says. My narrative is this, and therefore, that's the only way in which I see the world. Right? So there's no freedom there. You're seeing things through your lens. You can't even communicate effectively to people because Twitter files, but over here, World Economic Forum, young leader, therefore don't trust Twitter files, right? But it's like, hold on a second. No one's asking you to trust Elon Musk. Just remove Elon from the situation for a second. Just look at the Twitter files. What is it showing? Evidence of corruption and collusion. So let that be the story. And you can put in there, I don't trust Elon. I think we should be critical of Elon because look at his billionaire status. Maybe that means something. Look at his connection with some of these other agencies. we should think critically about that. But instead it's just don't trust anything because he's a Tony Stark. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy billionaire trying to save the world. It's like nobody's even saying that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my take is it's like, we have to be willing to kind of see the signal, leave out the noise, and in my opinion, just be responsible as content creators and content consumers to admit what we know and admit what we don't know and stop trying to be so certain on exactly what is happening and pretending like we know people's intentions when we don't know their intentions, right? It's great to think critically and to look at some pieces to the puzzle. But when you're condescending towards people saying that if you even consider that something good is happening, you're still asleep, you're still an idiot, you just don't get it, right? Then we're starting to lose the reality of what's going on and we're creating more noise and we're not really advancing the conversation in a reasonable and meaningful way. We're just stuck in narrative. We're just stuck in seeing things through our lens.